In today's Consumer View, if you lease a vehicle, you may have a big decision to make once the terms of the lease are up. You may have the option to purchase the car or truck, but is this the right thing for you? Automotive expert Casey Jordan is here to discuss this topic. Casey, thanks for being with us again this Monday.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with this. Can consumers always buy leased vehicles at the end of their lease?
Most times they can. Most leased vehicles for consumers are what's known as closed-end leases, which have a fixed term. And at the end of the fixed term, there should be an option to buy the vehicle. You just have to check with your contract to be sure that option is included.
Now, where can consumers find out what the lease buyout is? Where can they find this out?
The best place to look for that information is to call the leasing company that you lease the vehicle from. There should be a toll-free number with your account number. You call them, a few months ahead before the lease and say, what is it going to cost to buy out my vehicle at the end of my lease? What are all the charges involved, and what should I expect to pay?
So at the present time, is buying a leased vehicle a good idea?
Well, it depends upon the value of the vehicle. We've talked about this all year, that used vehicles have historically reached high values that no one ever anticipated because of the earthquake in Japan and other supply shortages. So when you leased your vehicle 3 years ago, they didn't anticipate that the used vehicle market would be so good. So many times you can find your leased vehicle is worth the value of your leased vehicle is thousands more than your actual buyout is.
Wow. So we just saw a graphic there. Let's bring that back up and talk about this. What should consumers think about before buying a leased vehicle?
Well, the first thing you need to do is look at the present value of the vehicle versus the buyout and see if it really is a very good deal. Secondly, look at the repair history for your vehicle. Has this been a good vehicle for you? If it hasn't been a good vehicle for you and it has repair problems, this is an easy out to get it off your hands. The next thing you do is take a look at the future predicted reliability of the vehicle. Is this vehicle going to be a great vehicle for you to have over periods of time without having to buy an extended warranty? If you think it's going to be need an extended warranty, it may not be the best vehicle to buy for you. And the last thing to look at is, have you had an accident in this vehicle? Even if you've had it repaired properly, the vehicle is going to lose value compared to other vehicles that have not been into an accident. So what you would potentially want to do is turn that vehicle back to the manufacturer, and they're going to assume that loss, which they knew. They expect a certain amount of their vehicles to have had accidents, and so they kind of expect it. So this would be a chance for a consumer to get rid of that depreciation of value because of that accident.
One more thing. Have you seen, is there a difference in manufacturer? Is one different sort of car manufacturer? Does the leasing option, is it different all the way across the board?
Well, generally they're fairly the same. The fees associated with disposing of the vehicle vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. But most manufacturers do offer that buyout, but you do have to be careful to make sure that you get that price. Look through your contract and make sure you read the whole thing, and then call them to make sure you're both calculating the same figure, because when your lease your final date is up, you don't want any surprises.
That's probably the best point. You don't want any surprises at that point. Casey, thanks a lot for being with us again. Very helpful information. If you have a question for Casey, he's got the answer, I guarantee it. Just email him at ask Casey at kview.com. Casey will be back here next week answering some of your questions right here on the air.